Hi everybody, it's Liz, and I'm here today to share a layout that I created. I was recently asked by my husband to create a layout for one of his very close business associates. He's, told him about my YouTube channel and things like that, and they requested that I create a layout using one of their pictures. And this is the layout that I came up with. I was completely inspired by their wedding picture. It's a beautiful picture, you guys. Let me zoom in so you guys can take a look. But look at that. They've been married over 30 years. That's his beautiful wife, Tina. His name is Dawn. And the pictures, I just love the picture itself. It's very vintage looking as far as the color. And their wedding colors, from what I could tell in the background, were red, white, and pink. And I definitely wanted to incorporate a little bit of the, some of those colors into the layout itself. When I saw the picture, I immediately knew what papers I wanted to use, and I think some of you may recognize this collection. It's an older one by Craft. It is so beautiful, you guys. It's called On This Day, and it's just perfect for wedding day and then romantic layouts. Let me show you the paper pack real quick. And you guys remember how I wasn't allowed to shop? Well, for my birthday I got, to splurge, and I ordered a ton of Craft goodies, and this was one of the collections that I ordered. I've had my eye on it for a while, and I finally got it. But it's called On This Day, and sorry for the glare, but it's beautiful, beautiful papers, you guys. So I used this collection. I also used the smaller pad, the 6x6 pad. Sorry, I'm moving too much. I don't have a tripod yet. So I've got this. I used parts of this, and I also used a lot of the Collectibles. And it's these beautiful die-cut pieces that coordinate very well with the collection, and these are just so perfect. I used quite a bit of these on my layout, so I think it came out really nice. I was having a hard time with it. Layouts are not my forte. They never have been, so they usually intimidate me. And I wanted to create something very beautiful and romantic just for them. And I really hope they like it, and I hope I succeeded in capturing the beautiful moment caught in that, in that picture. So I wanted to basically start off in the beginning. I knew I wanted this to be able to go into like a big shadow box. So what I did is I did adhere the base of the layout, which is, this darker piece of paper here. I adhered it to a piece of thin chipboard, so it could be nice and sturdy. And then what I did is I layered a bunch of different pieces of patterned paper, as you can tell here. And a lot of the papers I distressed, some a little bit heavier than others. As you can see from this pink one here, it's heavily distressed on the sides and, down at the bottom. So I used my distress tool for that. I also used some vintage photo ink all along the edges of all the papers, just to give it a more vintage look to the papers. I just love the vintage photo. It's an awesome color. And on some of the papers, let me see if I can zoom over here. There we go. You can see I did some stenciling with the Art is Crafter's Workshop stencil, the 6x6 stencil, and some modeling paste. And I just did it subtly, just in some parts, not all over the place. There's some up there, there's some down here at the bottom, as you can see. You can see some of the distressing that I've created. And then what I did is I wanted to create like a focal point. Obviously it's the picture, but I hope you guys are able to see the visual circle that I created in the middle. And I did that by basically taking a doily that I cut in half. There you could see the doily. And then the way that I positioned the embellishments, the flowers, the frame, it creates a circle. I hope you guys are able to see that. And I did that and added the picture in the middle to represent their everlasting union. A circle, like a ring, never ends. And that's what I wish for them and their, wonderful blessing here that they have, their union, and I hope that they have many, many more years together. So that's what I did there, and that's why the layout is the way it is, with the picture right in the center. I hope you guys are able to see that visual circle. And so, I layered a lot of the pieces of pattern paper, like I said, and they are, I wanted a lot of dimension, and I'll be able to, take down the layout and show you from a side view. But what I did is, because these pieces of paper are huge, I took pieces of cardboard, and that's what I did for the dimension. I added that, to the bottom before I laid the pattern paper over that. And the pieces of cardboard just add, like a little depth to it. And so I did that throughout on some of the pattern papers. I created this strip that goes across using leftover pieces from this darker sheet. A tip that I have for you guys when you're using, like a 12 by 12 piece, and you know that the center is going to get covered up, you can always cut out like a big square with your craft knife and use those pieces, and that's what I did. These were the leftover pieces from that square. I used a Martha Stewart punch on the edges, so you can see that. And then on top of that strip, it's actually 2 strips, one here and one there. I matted another piece of pattern paper to the middle of each of the strips. Okay. And then I thought it was a little plain looking on that side, so I added these stickers. It's like a little sticker, a little lace sticker, and that came in the On This Day paper pack. It comes with a collection of stickers. And I just inked the edges with some vintage photo. I adhered the sticker to some cardstock, fussy cut it out, and then adhered it to the middle of the strip, so it looks like it goes all the way across. Hope you guys are able to see that. And now my edges, I hope you guys are able to see, but I toned them down a bit with some gesso. I used a little pouncer tool, and I basically just went over the entire layout. Lots of random areas, hopefully you guys are able to see that I try to soften up with the gesso, just by dabbing the gesso all along the edges, different corners of the pattern papers. And it just kind of gives it like a very shabby, and it really just softens up the entire layout. I think it came out really nice, the way that the gesso looks on that. In the background, you guys can see little bits of doily kind of peeking out here and there. That's from the other half of this doily that I used here. I just cut out like the little pieces and adhered them to the back of that pink piece of pattern paper, so they can be kind of tucked in. They're just poking out in just random areas. Okay, I'm just showing you like an overview so you guys can see everything here. And then, let me see what we did here. I used one of the collectibles, and the collectible up here is one of my favorites. It's the beautiful chandelier. I thought it was just very romantic and that it would go really well with the layout. And I used some foam tape to adhere that onto the corner. And then if you can see the strand of pearls that comes out from the top of the chandelier, I wanted it to mimic, like chain, how the chandelier would hang from a chain. Instead it's hanging from a string of pearls. And I adhere the pearls in random spots with some glossy accents to give it, that little wavy look. And the pearls go all the way across the layout. It's really pretty. I love pearls. I think they give such a romantic feel, and I really love the pearls. I hope they like them as well. And then, let's see, I used another collectible up there. Hopefully you guys are able to see that beautiful butterfly. I just adhered it, just to that corner up there, going away from the flower cluster. This flower cluster that I created up here, I used a lot of the collectibles. You guys can see some of them in the background. They're like, little floral prints. I also fussy cut some of the flowers from a different sheet of the pattern paper. So it's some fussy cutting and some die cuts that I kind of layered together, and some of them I used foam tape to give them dimension. And then of course I used some flowers from my stash. That big brown one is from I Am Roses, and that beautiful peachy pink one is from Wild Orchid Crafts. Then I have some little white ones for my stash that I adhered to the flower cluster. And let me zoom in so you guys can see some of the pearls that I added. Oops, that's as close as it's going to get. But I hope you guys are able to see those pearls. I added some pearls from my stash, and these are just glass pearls I picked up at Joann's, and they come in different sizes. So I've got some larger ones, and then there's like a small one tucked away over here behind the brown flower. I hope you guys can see that. And then what I did, just to give it a more lush look, I cut out these little, I guess, little leaves or little sprigs that you would call them. These are Spellbinders Foliage 2 dies. And I just used some light green cardstock. And so I have the little die cuts kind of poking in from the flowers and the pearls, just to give it a more lush feel to the flower cluster. It's really pretty the way that came out. And then of course here's the beautiful picture, a closer view. You guys can take a look. Look how gorgeous Tina looks in her beautiful wedding gown. Beautiful. What a handsome couple. And what I did for the picture, this background here, this is actually another one of the collectibles. It's a huge frame, but of course, you know, it's going to get covered up. But I just wanted one corner to show. So I've got that here, and then I've got the picture on top of that, and I added photo corners, or, you know, metal corner pieces to each of the corners. And I think these are by Memento. I just picked them up on Michael's. And I lightly added some gesso to the top of the metal, just to tone it down a bit, to give it a more shabby look, because they were an antique gold and I wanted to coordinate, you know, with this frame that I used here. And I'll cover the frame in just a second. And then I'm going to show you this large flower cluster I created over here using the same types of collectibles and fuzzy cutting that I did. So I added a lot of collectibles, some of them layered on top of foam tape. There's some fuzzy cut pieces, some more beautiful flowers by Wild Orchid Crafts, some I Am Roses flowers, little white ones from my stash, and of course you got the pearls kind of poking in and out. Then you've got the little green sprigs made from cardstock. Here I have another butterfly from the Collectibles collection, and you get a lot of the die cut pieces from that collectible pack. I think there's over 60 pieces, and they don't necessarily have to be used for a wedding theme, because you get a lot of different elements. You know, there's butterflies, there's flowers, keys. You can use them for anything really, and they're just perfect for any shabby chic or vintage type project. I think those are awesome, and it's a great value. And then what I did, this is my title here, and it's a love story. And the love story part is actually another collectible. It was like a larger tag, and I cut it down to size so that it could fit within the frame. And that frame is a beautiful metal piece that I had in my stash for quite a while. I think it's by K & Company, but I'm not 100% sure. It was like a frame pack. And the same thing with that, it was antique gold. And I just used some gesso. I just lightly pounced on it with a pouncer tool to tone it down a bit. And I added 2 little pearls, one on each side. Really cute. And of course I have some more flowers in the corner. Wild Orchid Craft, that little peachy pink one. White one from my stash, a little sprig from Spellbinders. You can see some of the fussy cut flowers that I have here. It's kind of hidden away. And then there's a little die cut piece there and a pearl. Came out really pretty. I love the cluster. And let me see, zoom out if I missed anything. I think I've covered everything, you guys, but I'm really happy with the way that turned out. Like I said, I was quite intimidated at first. Give me 1 second, I'm sorry. Okay, I'm back. I was quite intimidated at first because, you know, I know these are really close friends of my husband and I wanted to do a very good job for them. But I'm quite happy with the way it turned out, and I really hope that they like it as well. I love the distressing, and I love the soft feel of the colors. Let me just bring it a little closer so you guys can maybe take a closer view. Let's stay here so you guys can take a look here all around. So you can see all the distressing here. And see here you could see some of the little bits of gesso on the frame. Like I said, I just used a pouncer tool very, very lightly. And here's a closer view of the flower cluster. Here you could see the pearls better and the little sprigs. And here you could see some of the gesso that I sponged all throughout the layout, just to soften it up a bit. And there's a little photo corners. There you could see a closer picture of the couple. Beautiful. And here's another, you know, cluster of flowers. Look how pretty. And let me show you some of the dimension that I was talking about. See, they're layered. The little pieces of pattern paper are layered. There's cardboard underneath. So you could see it's more dimensional. I definitely didn't want a flat layout. And this would be beautiful, you know, inside a shadow box. I think we're going to get like a big frame for them. Or also, I was thinking if they wanted to just hang it, I've got this really cute hanger from Melissa Francis. And if you use that to hang, let me see here. You can hang from, you can hang the pretty layout that way as well. So I've got here, let me just show you real quick. See? And so here's the pretty hanger, and then you can just have the layout hanging from the hanger. So I think it's really pretty. Not too bad. Like I said, layouts sort of intimidate me. And let me kind of show you what it would look like hanging. Just so you guys can see. There it is, up there, hanging beautifully on the wall. I think it looks gorgeous. So anyways, guys, that is my project. I really hope you guys like it, and most importantly, I really hope the happy couple likes it as well. I'm not sure about their style, but I just went by the picture, and the picture was all the inspiration I needed to create this layout to commemorate their love. So thank you so much for watching, you guys. I really hope you like my layout, and I appreciate your comments or questions if you have any. And I definitely want to thank each and every one of you for continuing to support me on my creative journey here on YouTube. Thank you so much, you guys, and I'll see y'all real soon. Bye-bye.